Now I'm recording, and if you would like to unmute yourself and shout anybody out, please feel free to do so. It's been a little while since we've had some shout outs. It's been a little while since we've had this many people on the call. I'm super excited that we have this many people showing up tonight. Thank you for being here. Shout out to all of you for being here.
I just wanted to shout you out, Lindsay, for the amazing opportunity that you're giving to so many of us. Definitely lit a fire in my behind that I've needed for a
I'm
long time.
so glad.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad. I'm excited. I'm super excited. All righty. Well, I'm going to just hop right to it then. Let me, sorry if you hear my son. We just had a little moment where we're still adjusting to mommy and daddy not being in the same house. And some nights are not as easy as other nights. And just had one of those little moments. So he's going to hang out on the couch while we have our call. Okay. All right, so let me share my screen so that you guys can see the calendar nice and big. There we go. All right, so I went ahead and took off the calendar this month a couple things that I felt weren't, I think they're really great things that we were doing, but I don't think people were plugging into them the way we wanted them to. So I'm not taking them totally off the plate, but I'm going to rearrange when we do them and make sure that we talk about them more before we, because what we were doing is we were scheduling every other Thursday a Kickstart call. And Christy and I would get on there and we would like schedule that time into our week and no one would be on the call. And so I want to just revamp how we do this. It's mainly the purpose of the call is to help new coaches get started and to help coaches that are struggling get that kick in the pants that they need. So we need to figure out another way to get people on the call that need to be on the call, because I do think that a lot of us have been going through seasons lately, and so it's a necessary call, but we haven't been utilizing it to the best of our ability. So we're going to come back to that. Every single Sunday, just like always, is our team call at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Guys, I understand that 9 o'clock is hard for some of us. I have a really hard time waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning after Sunday night calls. But I also want to just reiterate that we are doing 9 o'clock because it's what the majority of our team requested or needed for their lives. It helps those of us that are single moms or those of us with little ones with bedtime. Bedtime's usually done by now, so it's easier for us to be on the call. And like those of us that are in another time zone, it helps them. So if you could try to schedule these 30 minutes into your week, I think they're imperative to building a business. So please try to start doing that. Those of you watching the replay and those of you that are on the call right now. So all month long, we have the work and we have the bar blend and we have peppermint mocha shake coming out. So we're going to talk more about those things as the month progresses. Next Sunday, the team call is going to be led by Sarah, and she's going to be talking about the work. And then she is actually going to lead us through a test group for the work. So that's something that you should be talking about a lot this month, especially the next week or two, because we want people to join our test group. We're going to have a group just for the work. This is something, some of you may feel like this is completely outside your comfort zone, not your, the kind of program that you would like. Talk about that. Talk about why it's outside your comfort zone. Talk about why it is scary to you or maybe makes you uncomfortable. Talk about, like, for me, having someone cuss at me makes me uncomfortable because that will hurt my feelings. And I know if I don't show up and do my best and I get cussed at, it's going to hurt my feelings. So that means I'm going to have to show up and do my best. And that's scary because right now it's a little easy sometimes to be like, oh, I'm tired. It's not going to be like that with this program. The first weekend in November is Super Weekend. And I labeled the entire weekend Super Weekend because some people have Super Friday, some have Super Saturday, and some are doing Super Sunday. If you planned on coming to the local event here in North Carolina in Raleigh, or it's actually in Cary, I don't know what's going to happen because today the speaker, Jamie Fitzpatrick, had a heart attack. He's okay. He's in the ICU and they put in an emergency stint, but I doubt he will be in North Carolina from Canada on November 3rd to speak. So I don't know how things will change. So if you bought tickets to that, or if you were planning on attending that, you may just want to keep your ears open and be watching for any updates. So every Friday this month, one of the things that came up over and over as I asked people to message me about why they wanted to be in the push group was that people want to be different from every other coach out there. That came across to me over and over and over. And I get it. And I really believe like being you and being your own brand is the most important part of this business. So I really tried to focus on that as I made this calendar this month, so that every Friday I put Flashback Friday. You're going to notice I did not do Transformation Tuesday this month, and I did not do Throwback Thursday. Every coach does that. Everybody does their transformation before after post on Tuesday or Thursday in this business. So instead, let's start doing them on Fridays. Fridays, more people are plugged into social media. It's the end of the work week. They're burnt out. They come home, and while they're watching TV, exhausted on the couch, they're scrolling. So what a great time to be sharing those kind of posts anyway. And I really don't even want you to focus so much on the transformation aspect of it. I want you to talk to the old you. I'm calling it Flashback Friday because you can put up a before and after. That's totally fine. But when you're writing your post, talk to the you in that first picture, because that's the person you're trying to communicate with. They're not ready. They can't see themselves in the second picture. When you share a before after, even if you're not happy with your results, people who see your results are like, wow, that would be like, if that could be my end journey, that would be incredible. I had someone say that to me one time. I was like, I'm not happy where I am, but this is how far I've come in these 6 weeks of this program, blah, blah, blah. And this girl messaged me. She was like, do you realize if I looked like your after picture, I would be like, or even if like your before picture, I would be so happy with myself right now. And that really hit me. Like, not everybody's trying to have a six pack. Not everybody's trying to be a supermodel. Some people are just trying to get healthier, and that's cool. That's good. They don't need to be a certain size. So talk to that old you. Talk to yourself the way you needed to hear the message. Don't focus so much on the after. Start to focus a little bit more on the before, because those are the people that need to hear you right now. Every single Saturday this month, I took one of my key phrases from like 5 years ago and said, wave your freak flag. So again, over and over, it hit me in those messages that I was reading today that people want to be different. You want to stand out. You don't want to be this cookie cutter Beachbody coach. And I don't want you to be a cookie cutter Beachbody coach. Like, nobody wants to look like everybody else. Like, I stopped following all these coaches on social media because I don't want to do what they're doing. And I find myself trying to emulate them when I follow them. So every single Saturday this month, I want you to wave your freak flag. Share what makes you you, what makes you different, what makes people want to be around you, what makes you weird and awkward and unusual and unique and amazing, because that's what you need to own. And that's what we need to stop trying to like suppress our awkwardness and start letting it shine. Because even though we have every good intention when we're sharing the perfect picture and the perfect post, and we're only showing like, I got my kids to eat vegetables in the shape of dinosaurs today. Like, that's great. But how about like not trying to show people that you're perfect, because then they believe they have to be perfect in order to do what you do. And God knows we're not perfect. And God knows they don't have to be in order to be successful at this either. So start waving your freak flag. Let your freak flag fly. That's what I used to always say. Be you unapologetically and just let it shine. So every Saturday this month, I want you to just share. Like if it's a family post and you and your family like to play frisbee golf, then share a picture of you playing frisbee golf. Some people are going to think that is really cool. Some people are going to think it is weird AF. And some people are going to be like, I don't even know what that is. Tell me more. So get that out there. Like share that stuff. On Sundays, obviously every Sunday you need to know to be on the team call. But on Sundays, I gave us different things. So I'm just going to kind of walk us through. Right now I'm on the third. Share your meal prep. So one of the things that Cassandra actually mentioned in her post underneath when I asked what you would like to see on this calendar was that she sometimes forgets to share those little things that are like you're supposed to share all the time, like meal prep, healthy lifestyle benefits, those kind of things. So what I did is I took them and I turned them into really intentional posts. So on Sunday, the 3rd, I want you to share your meal prep. Most of us meal prep on Sunday anyway. You can share what you bought. You can share one recipe. You could just share a picture and talk about how this program that you're doing makes it so easy to meal prep, whatever, but share your meal prep. On the 4th, that's the day that the work test group for our team is going to go live. So that day, I want you to share something about the work. Every single Wednesday, I want you to go live. I know that was a challenge last month, and a lot of you did it the first week and then kind of fell off, myself included. I think I went live twice on Instagram, and then I fell off as well. So this month, let's really be intentional with our live. On November 5th, I want you to share your October favorites. So it's like 3 things, 4 things that you used or purchased in the month of October. Share them with your people. This is a great way to connect. It's a great way to ask, like, this was the dry shampoo that I tried. I loved it. What are you trying? Like last month, I bought a new product for my daughter's hair. I'm always looking for suggestions on what to use in her hair. So like those kinds of conversations can start rolling from that. I also heard, I think it was Andrea say that she wanted to do something along the lines with gratitude this month. So every single Wednesday, I want us to have a gratitude attitude. And I thought this is a great opportunity for you to share what you're thankful for. And you can tie it into the business. You can tie it into the workouts. You can tie it into Shakeology, or you can just talk about what you're thankful for in life. Like last year when I was going through this, I did something called, I just made it up. I did the gratitude attitude challenge because every day it was like a struggle just to get out of bed because I was in a really dark place a year ago, exactly a year ago. So every day it was like, I'm thankful that my daughter is snoring next to me. I'm thankful that my son just came down and was upset and needed extra love. Like those kinds of things, because they're easy things for us to brush off or get annoyed by, but they're things that you can be really grateful for. So share that throughout the month. And I would encourage your followers to share with you what they're grateful for. Encourage them to tag you in their post if they decide to join you with the gratitude attitude. Every single Thursday is a recognition or payday post again, because I think it's really important, you guys. I think it's really important that you are checking your online office at minimum once a week, preferably 2 to 5 times a week, if not 7 times a week. But especially on Thursdays. Have an understanding of what you're working for. Have an understanding of the lives that are changing. Even if you haven't changed a life this week, the people underneath you have, and you can see that in your online office. You can see when one of your coaches makes a new purchase. You can see when one of your coaches helps somebody, when you get new team members, all that stuff. And it's really important for you to realize that you're a part of that. Even if you did not make a direct sale this week or help a person with a challenge pack this week, you are making changes in people's lives, because this is all a domino effect, and you are one of the dominoes on our team. With the recognition and payday post, I want you to remember on the 28th, we will be having our Thanksgiving team workout. I kind of took everybody into consideration, and it looked like most people wanted 7 a.m. But I also know that for people in another time zone, 7 a.m. means 6 a.m. for them. So and by the way, if it has changed since then, we can change the time. But when I looked at it last before I hit publish, that's 7 a.m. was the most popular. So I put 7:15 and thought that might be a little bit easier for some people. If we decide we want to change it, we can change it, but that's tentatively on the calendar. And I would recommend on that day, because it's Thanksgiving, that you don't necessarily talk about money. You talk about like you recognize the fact that we're all in this together, that we are more than just a team, we're a family, and that we've decided to start our day of thanks together, and share that and use that as your recognition post that day. If you choose not to, if you choose to share something else that day, that's totally fine. But I just thought they kind of go hand in hand. So I wanted to mention that. So Friday, Saturday, we've already gone over those. The 10th, share why this works for you. So again, a lot of us have experience with other programs, other diets or fads or shakes or whatever you have experience with, like Weight Watchers, that kind of thing. Share why this works for you. You don't have to knock another company. You don't have to knock another program or anything like that. In fact, I would recommend not doing that, because you're probably going to get some backlash that way. But what I would do is just say, like, these are the things I struggled with for so long, and I tried so many other things and they didn't work because of this, this, and this. This works for me because of XYZ, and it's been working for me for 5 years now, blah, blah, blah. Talk about that. You can choose to go live so people can hear your voice and really hear your story, or you can choose to make it a post. It's entirely up to you how you choose to share it. I'm just giving you ideas. This is where you can take creative freedom and make it your own and really make yourself stand out compared to somebody else. I mean, honestly, like, it would be hilarious, I think, if you had all the different shakes and stuff at your house still, and you were able to like hold it all up and be like, this is what didn't work for me, that kind of thing. I mean, just make it, let your flag fly. On the 11th, showcase the benefits of a healthy lifestyle. So we talk a lot about our workouts and how they make us look and how they make us feel. But what about all the other things that come into this? Like, think about your mental health, think about your friendships, think about your self-confidence or your work ethic or the energy that you have. Think about all the different things that are benefits from this healthy lifestyle. On the 12th, I want you to go live sharing a Thanksgiving favorite recipe. You could be making the recipe, you could be sharing the ingredients for it, and offer up the recipe and have people message you for it or comment below your live for it. But do something. And this time of year, everyone's looking for something new or healthier to bring to the table. Maybe a healthier version of sweet potato casserole, or a cranberry salad with less sugar in it, that kind of thing. Think about that. And the rest of the week is pretty much that general just idea, and you take it and run with it. On the 17th, showcase the benefits of a healthy lifestyle again. That again came up a couple times. People talking about that just being something they forget to do. So that's why I put it on there twice. The 18th, be honest about a failure that you have, and it could be a recent one, and how you overcame it or how you plan to overcome it. So for me, the last 2 weekends, I've been with my family camping, and when my family camps, everybody from the different campers bring food to the table, and it's like Thanksgiving every single day while we're camping. And so I have like indulged big time over the past 2 weekends. So that's a failure, and I plan to overcome it by doing the 3-day refresh. So see how you can, tie that in. Maybe your failure is you haven't been waking up in the morning. That's another one of mine. I've just been on the struggle bus the last 2 weeks, you guys. How are you going to overcome it? That kind of thing. Share that. Let people know again that you're not perfect. On the 19th, go live, and I want you to share something from your personal development. So this is twofold. One, you have to be doing PD in order to do it. Two, our PD should be filling our bucket to the point where we can then use it to fill somebody else's. We should be reading things and doing things that allow us, that give us inspiration of what to share with other people. If you're not, then either A, you're not doing PD, B, you're not doing the right kind of PD that fills your bucket right now. So you need to check yourself and figure out what you need right now. Or C, maybe you're just like in the wrong genre or department or something, and it's just not like you're not into it. Then find another way to do it. Find another, like listen to a podcast, listen to an audio book, read a book. I mean, I just got done reading this book called # I Mom So Hard. And it was exactly what I needed. It was about like how momming is so freaking hard, but we're like in this little community together. And it's given me so many ideas of what to share and how to share it with my community. So, you know, if right now you don't need to be reading, and I preach this all the time, if you don't need to be reading the 5-second rule right now, don't read the 5-second rule right now. Read what you need and fill your bucket so that then you can pay it forward. The 20th is the gratitude attitude. The 22nd is going to be our sneak peek into coaching. We have been doing sneak peeks on Wednesdays, and we haven't done them for like the last 3 or 4 months. We're coming back to it. We are revamping it. We're doing it the way that has worked for us in the past. We're going to stop trying to do what everyone else is doing. We're going to do what works for us. And I've moved it to a Friday because I feel like, again, Fridays are the days when we all have time to take a breath and actually be present on social media. Wednesday nights are church nights. They are gymnastics nights. They're like, there's all this other stuff going on in moms' lives on Wednesday nights. And let's be honest, the majority of us are talking to moms. The majority of us, that is part of our avatar. And so why are we making it hard on them? Because we know what their lives are like. So instead, we're moving it to a Friday. Yes, I completely understand it's a Friday and people may not want to be there on a Friday, but then they have the rest of the weekend to plug into what we've shared. And you have the rest of the weekend to follow up with them, and your crazy hectic schedule doesn't get in your way of following up, and their crazy hectic schedule doesn't get in their way of actually watching or listening to the videos. So that's my reasoning behind that. The 24th, I want you to share how coaching benefits your life. So we've had our sneak peek on the 22nd. We have followed up with people on the 23rd. On the 24th, we're going to show them in their face one more time on our personal pages why coaching is so amazing, how it benefits us. Doesn't necessarily have to be a financial post. In fact, if you just did a financial post on the 21st, I wouldn't do another one on the 24th. That's it. But I would definitely talk about how coaching like holds you more accountable, how it's given you this community, how you're staying on track better than you ever had before because of this, you know, I don't know, I don't want to use the word accountable again, but like this obligation you have to others. So then that means you keep your promise to yourself, that kind of thing. Just think about how coaching benefits your life. I mean, I can list forever how coaching benefits my life. The 25th, I want you to share a Thanksgiving tradition, or 2 or 3, whatever it is. Share something and then ask people to share their Thanksgiving traditions. On the 26th, I want you to go live and I want you to share with people what your miracle morning looks like. Your miracle morning doesn't have to look just like the one from the book. You don't even have to have read the book if you're thinking, oh, I haven't read that book. Just share what you're doing in the morning that helps you. Because I know for me, when I was first approached about doing morning workouts, because I was an evening workouter for a long time. I would put Carson to bed and then I would do my workout. It was like, I was like, no, I'm not getting up earlier. I already wake up super early. I have to be to work at 7 o'clock. There's no way I'm waking up earlier. And then I started doing it. And then it was like, I'm going to wake up 10 minutes earlier so that after my workout, I have a few minutes of peace and quiet. I don't have to rush right into the shower. And then it was like, I'm going to wake up 20 minutes earlier because I want to also have a cup of coffee before I go to work without having to rush around the house. Or I'm going to do this. And then I'm also going to start a load of laundry before I even push play. And it was like 30 minutes or 40 minutes earlier than I needed to actually get up to push play. And I didn't notice the difference. So what does your miracle morning look like? Share it with people, because people, just like you did, have this idea that we cannot wake up earlier. We are already so exhausted. We already wake up so early. Our mornings are so crazy chaotic. There's no way we can plug one more thing in. And then you plug one more thing in and you're like, oh, it actually feels a little easier now. Weird how that happens. The Wednesday, again, gratitude attitude. The 28th is that Thanksgiving team workout in the morning and your recognition post. The 29th is Flashback Friday, and the 30th is Wave Your Freak Flag. So over here on the weekly goals, I made a little place for you to put your own goals. So how many invites do you want to send each week? I'm not going to say how many each day, because if you're like me, like Tuesday nights for me, I don't really get to work much. Tuesday is the night I get my kids back, which is like numero uno for me. I get them as soon as I get off work. And then we have a tradition. We go to Chick-fil-A every Tuesday, and that's our thing. That's our routine on Tuesdays. And then usually Tuesday nights I have a soccer game. So usually we go to Chick-fil-A, and then we go to my soccer game, and then we come home, and it's like bedtime routine. So I can't get my 20 invites in on a Tuesday because I'm busy doing other things. So instead on Wednesday I do 30, and on Thursday I do 30, that kind of thing. So write down how many invites you want to do a week. Write down how many lives you want to change by the end of the week. A life changed does not necessarily mean a challenge pack. It could mean a 3-day refresh. It could mean bod. It could mean you got them some Energize, or you gave them a sample of something. To me, you've changed a life when you give them something of value, really. Make an income goal for the week. I know that we talk a lot about how money makes us feel icky, but guys, let's be real. We are on this call right now because we want to build a business, and we want to build a business because we believe in it. Most of us are doing things in our careers or in our lives that we're passionate about. The reason you're on this call at 9 o'clock on a Sunday night is because you're passionate about it. And we believe in what we're doing, and we want to see the fruits of that labor. Yes, the fruits of the labor look like lives changed in our challenge groups, but it also looks like money in the bank. It also looks like being able to take your kids on a vacation or do Christmas without credit cards this year. Talk about those things in your income posts. Like, how huge is that for some families? Like, I'm going to do Christmas without credit cards. How awesome is that? So make an income post for the week, and don't play it safe. Like, if your income has been $200 a week for the last 4 weeks, it needs to be $500, guys. It does. And as you start to build your business, as you start to build your team underneath you, you're going to see that income grow really rapidly. So that's a little more incentive for you to invite to the business, not just to the challenge group. And then how many new connections do you want to make a week? This is not invites. This is like, how many new friends do you want to have on social media? How many people do you want to just spark up conversations with? How many people do you want to like get your funnel going to? How many groups are you going to join on social media? Those kinds of things. Are you going to start going to gymnastics with your daughter and maybe make some mom friends there? That kind of thing. And then every month I've been trying to give you a product spotlight or two. Obviously, we're going to be talking about our new programs and the Peppermint Mocha Shakeology. But this month also could be a great month to start talking about 3-day refresh. We are going to be running a 3-day refresh group November 4th through the 6th, which I forgot to put on the calendar. I apologize for that. You may want to add that right now. We're going to be running that group with Amy's team from the 4th through the 6th. I've already got the group set up, and I'll share it in our team page as soon as our flash sale is over. But you're going to want to be talking about that. A lot of people in between Thanksgiving and Christmas are going to want to do a cleanse. They're going to want to feel better after the bloat. I mean, most of us wear stretchy pants on Thanksgiving Day for a reason. A lot of people might want to jump in and do a 3-day refresh after Christmas to get them ready for New Year's Eve, or maybe even after New Year's Eve to kickstart their resolutions. So that's a great product to be talking about. If you plan to do it with us from the 4th to the 6th, I would take lots of pictures. I would document so that you can share that journey over and over and over the next 3 months. And then Energize. I think Energize is a really good one to share right now, because this is a time of year where it is very easy for us as women to spread ourselves too thin and be tired all the time. And most of us don't want to be drinking coffee all day long, but we could definitely stand to drink some Energize throughout the day. And so I think talking about the fact, like, I'm exhausted. I've just cooked like 45 pies and this is going to keep me going while I clean the kitchen now, kind of thing. You know, just little things like that in your stories or in your posts. I think that's really important. Oh, I guess my phone died. I was trying to check my time. Sorry, guys. Oh, 9:30. So we're doing pretty good here. All right, let me stop sharing my screen so that I can see if anybody has questions. Maybe I can stop sharing my screen. There we go. Because I haven't been able to see the chat box while I've been sharing. So is the 4th prep week. Christy, I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Sarah. What time do you all find you get the most interaction? For me, Rebecca, I get the most interaction after 3 o'clock because I'm a teacher. And so most of my people are teachers as well. So when I can be plugged in, they can be plugged in. So sometimes that means I post before 7 and then not again until like 3 or 4. Sarah said yes, she is starting it as prep week on November 4th. So I guess just kind of feel out like when you get the most engagement on your posts. I think it's a little different for everybody. I know if I post really late at night, it's like dead because teachers are in bed early. People do want raw. That's exactly right. Sarah's doing a clean eating group with Thanksgiving recipes from Fixate. If anyone wants to join her, you're welcome to. Dollar bills, y'all. Okay, I think I covered everything. If there's any other questions, please make sure you add November 4th through the 6th is going to be a cleanse group. We're going to do several cleanses throughout the rest of the year. Doesn't mean you have to actually participate in every single one of them. Just means you have the opportunity to invite to them. I say that only because there are a lot of opportunities where people are like, you know what? I way stuffed myself after Thanksgiving. I want to do this. And then after Christmas, they're like, okay, I'm ready. January 1st is going to be it for me. So let's do one. Yes, we'll put one on the calendar after Thanksgiving. That sounds great, Christy. We can talk about what day. In fact, maybe what I'll do is, Christy, will you actually post that question in the team page? Like when would be a good time after Thanksgiving? And we'll go ahead and let people vote and get that on the calendar as well. I love you guys. I am also working on a graphic for you because I've heard you say that you would like a little more structure for your Instagram stories, and Josh Coates has given me more structure, but the way he's done it is not going to be easy for me to just duplicate for you. So I'm going to take what he's done and I'm going to turn it into a graphic that you can just like check things off as you go, or just have it in front of you and like make sure at the end of each day you've done them all. And then you'll have an idea of what to share on your Instagram stories as well. Because I know some of you really want to have like more intentionality with those too. So I love you all and I hope you have a great week. I'm glad this was beneficial.